Hey there, welcome. Thank you so much for coming back. We are in the home stretch. We are in the home stretch. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you might want to go back and start at the beginning um, because we have been on this journey for a minute now. We are talking about the 13 principles for how we treat each other. This is number 11. It's practice slowing down. So, hey everyone, if you are new to me, I am Dr. Bernita, CEO and founder of Glenn White Global Solutions, home of Empowered Educators Academy, where we are on a vision to 1, raise the vibration of the education profession, 2, transform the learning experience of 1 billion students and adults, and 3, heal the nation through education. And we're starting with the foundation here, principles on how we treat each other. Now, if you have been with me so far as I'm like going through the review, let me know down below which principle resonated the most with you, which one that you, tell me which one that you need to kind of practice on, not kind of, actually practice in your personal life as well as your professional life, or do you see a few of the principles that you need to have in both areas? So go ahead and do that as I catch up our people. So the 13 principles, I've used them in workshops, classrooms, with difficult conversations. I started recently using them in my personal life, and they're really meant to be the foundations or the guidelines for how we are going to interact with each other. How are we going to have conversations? How are we going to conduct business, especially when it's time to talk about those difficult conversations. And instead of everyone going in not knowing what's about to happen or what to expect, we create an environment where people truly feel safe to speak their truth, speak their voices, feel seen, heard, and valued. And that way we can get down to the root cause of whatever the situation may be. A lot of times we enter trainings or we have conversations with people and nothing really gets resolved because we never went outside of our comfort zone to push that envelope, and to really grow. And growing doesn't always feel good, but if we grow in a safe space, then we will be able to blossom into something beautiful. That's just my experience, and that's what I truly believe. All right, so number 11, practice slowing down. I don't know about you, but for a long time, I didn't do this. I was like, what's the point? It's a waste of my time. But actually, no, I've been doing it more than I haven't been doing it. Wow, okay. I started meditating years and years ago. I was about to say, I had to think about when I started. Yeah, I started meditating years and years ago, and I see why they call it like a practice, right? I can go between a solid 25 minutes to a good 40 minutes, like for real. I've pushed myself to an hour before, but I always slingshot back. But my range is, on a good day, if I need something quick, 20 minutes is quick for me. 40 to 45 minutes is when I'm really deep in there, and 60 is when I am like, okay, I'm pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do that. That is not what practice slowing down means. It could be as simple as taking deep breaths, like, and what I did, took an inhale. You could do counts between 4 to 7. You can hold it at the top for like a count of 4 to 5, and then slowly exhale to a count of 5 to 7, depending on how you start with the inhale. You want to do that about 4 or 5 times. Go ahead, do it. I'll wait. How did that feel? I know if you are coming back on the replay, you're like, did something stop? Did the internet go out? No. that is just that's what it feels like to practice slowing down. And believe it or not, a lot of people have not practiced slowing down. Sometimes when they hear practice slowing down, they think of like meditation or, oh my gosh, that is too much. But if you do like those quick breaths in between certain situations, or when you have a moment to yourself, it will make a world of difference. I give myself a power hour, well, almost like a power morning. I have about 2 to 3 hours to where I really get my mind right. The first hour is really set on prayer, scripture reading, devotion, and meditation, affirmations, and all of that. But there are times where, okay, something's happening throughout the day. It's going to be a long day, or something may have happened to me, and I have to go find a corner somewhere and take the deep breaths. I don't have time to find a comfortable space, line up my spine, put my feet on the floor, and take 20 minutes. But taking those 5 to 7 deep breaths really allows me to come back, slow down, and then move on to the next step. What does this have to do with engaging in conversations? A lot of times, especially if you are in, you know those trainings where you've been there like all day and tensions are high, or whatever the case may be, and you're triggered. Let's say you went to lunch and then you had to come back, and then it's like, what in the world? I thought we left off on a good note, and then somebody said something, and then maybe it's your turn to speak. This is when you go slow down in your mind, in your brain, in everything. You are, everyone should be respecting your silence. You are going through and analyzing your assumptions, your biases. You are suspending your judgment, like you're going through all of that as you're slowing down, because you want to make sure that you are in control of your feelings, your words, your emotions, all of that, right? Also, for me, I had to, like, I was good in the morning. I started doing power down time at nighttime, but it was like the in-between times that were tripping me up. I remember going to like faculty meetings, and they were not going the way I thought they should be going. And a lot of times they were backed up against a class that I had. So I would be annoyed and irritated in the faculty meeting, and then I would rush and take that to my class. And all of that energy that I had, negative energy that wasn't so great, went over into my classrooms. So then I learned that, one, I can leave this meeting early. Like, what are you really gonna do to me, people? Left the meetings early, got myself together, cleared my head, slowed down, and then I was able to go and do what I needed to do. I learned to do that. So this is gonna sound a little strange. So during my power mornings, and this is when I started realizing why I needed to leave the meetings early, I will go through my day, and I learned this. I didn't come up with this. I heard it from someone, and then, like I said, if I hear something and I try it, I want to share it. During that power morning that I have, and for some of you, you may need to wake up early. Some stuff you just gotta give up sleep sometimes, you know. But during my power time, I would think and visualize my day. I look at my calendar, look at the day, everything that I have going on. I would map out exactly what I wanted that day to look like, how I wanted to feel, what results I wanted to get. Then I went through, if I did not get these results, how would I respond and how would I react? Looking at where I would have those tension meetings, because I knew without doubt that it was going to be that way, not on my end, because I have to practice the same suspending judgment, those principles, even though that's not a norm in my meetings, it's a norm, they're principles for me. So I would say, okay, I know I don't want to be triggered, but just in case I get triggered, what do I need to do? Because I know I have a class or I have a meeting with someone else right after that, and they don't deserve to get this energy that I may bring. So I had to identify my triggers, and that's something else I learned too, not really in the principles, but it goes together. Identify my triggers and said, okay, I can't not go to the meeting. Well, I could, but I can leave early so I can protect myself and then continue to have the joyful day that I planned ahead, right? So that involves practice slowing down. 1 in the morning to set up your day. I would say do it at night too, to really reflect and slow yourself down and prepare yourself for bed. That's a whole nother topic. And then even in between, practice slowing down. I mean, and it can be as simple as taking those deep breaths. When you're in those heated discussions, you are practicing slowing down and breathing and reflecting and going back through all of those other principles that fit within that situation. Last thing, I remember when I was working at a high school and we had the new principal there, and she would be off in some random corners of these random buildings, and she would be on her phone, but she later on told us that when things just got overwhelming, because that was a tough school to work in, and I can only imagine to lead it. Not really so much because of the kids, but because a lot of the outside influences and what people expected that school to be. She would be in the corner, like reading her meditations or reading something. She just had to get away, and it would be like so far from her office. So that lets you know, leaders, you are allowed to take those breaks, and same thing in your personal lives. All right, I talked about that one enough. I wanted to make these quick and to the point. So remember, that was principle number 11, practice slowing down. All right, we are in the home stretch. We have 13 principles, and that means we only have 2 more to go. So I can't wait for you to show up next time so we can just finish strong. Again, if you have not done so, follow me on my social media pages, Dr. Vernita Glenn White, and like the Facebook page. Also, if you want any free resources, 2 things: drvernitafreegift.com to get the updated one, and then Dr. Vernita Free Gift /stash to go inside Dr. Vernita's vault. All right, so let me know which one resonates with you. Let me know which ones you're still working on. And if you have any questions, let me know down below. I am Dr. V, and thank you so much for listening and learning with me. I will catch you next time as we almost wrap up the 13 principles on how we treat each other. Bye.